Hey guys, and welcome to, I guess this will be the fourth progression log? I think this is the fourth progression log. Anyway, this is going to be a little bit of a shorter one. I haven't been nearly as productive this week. It's been very busy. And also, I'm going to go ahead and talk about, we're going to go ahead and talk about the first thing. Oh, fantastic, my game all tabbed. Um, we're going to go talk about the first thing which I've done, and kind of the reason why nothing has really been happening right now. Right now, I've been struggling trying to figure out how I want to set up DML. I was thinking about doing it on its own subnet and then having it just, try and feed itself. The problem is regarding with how I want to make the polymer clay. See, I wanted to try and have some on-site ingot storage. Or the original plan really was to have this thing produce various resources and then dump them into the main system, and then the main system to provide resources to this subnet in order to make the polymer clay. But I was using interfaces on the mainnet and then storage buses here, and I try and pull stuff from interfaces here and put them in interfaces over there. And a Planner Logistics just won't do that. I don't know why it won't pull stuff from other interfaces with storage buses to put in other interfaces. And that might just be how interfaces work. I'm not exactly sure. So I've been really trying to struggle to set this up on its own subnet, right? Because iron's pretty easy. You know, zombie pristines to iron ingots. And then, so basically, because the interfaces over there will only pull from resources that are directly stored on the subnet in, like, drawers. So it'll only pull iron from here. Like, I was even able to, like, see, like, iron or gold or those other resources in, like, this subnet terminal, and it still wouldn't pull from them to put them in other uh, interfaces. And I'm not exactly sure why. And after spending multiple days trying to tinker with this subnet, I'm coming to the conclusion that it's just not going to work. And I just need to tear all this stuff down and rebuild it. So because won't be a subnet, I don't know if I want to leave it here or pull everything out and put it somewhere else. Because all the stuff on this side of the base is subnet stuff. That's a subnet. The farm's a subnet. Mob farm's a subnet. Oh yeah, we can go ahead and talk about the mob farm rebuild too. That's pretty cool. But so I've just been kind of like repeatedly trying to like tinker with this like day in, day out, like 3 or 4 nights out of this week. I've been trying to get this to work, and it won't. So I've last night, right before I went to bed, I finally decided that I was done with the subnet system, and I need to rebuild all of this stuff from the ground up, effectively. A lot of these systems are already here, so I will probably just remove all the cables and then just make this a mainnet system, and it won't be a subnet because I don't really want to move everything. Part of the other problem though is that I'm not really sure about how this layout. I have three long columns, two short ones for like crafting setups like this. These ones are for lines of sim chambers and loot fabricators, and these big squares over here were going to be for storage. Now that all this stuff is going to be on mainnet, and I already have a storage area for all this stuff, I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I might tear more of this, like the floor out as well, and uh, I guess rezone the floor and how I want to do it. I'm not exactly sure. This is gonna have to be a significant rebuild. Um, I'm pretty disappointed, honestly, because I really like using subnets now. I really like enjoying being able to flex my AE2 muscles, and I've never like up until this save, this playthrough, I've never done too many subnets. I did have one subnet in Mechanical Mastery, regarding the reactors and stuff, but I've never really done them in this amount or used them to this extent before, or this complexity. So it's been a very fun, but also a learning experience. And I guess this is part of the learning experience is figuring out what does and doesn't work, and I guess this doesn't work. I'm not exactly sure why. Um, Maybe I'll figure it out eventually, but I don't really want to waste any more time on a system that just isn't working, and I don't know why it's not working. So yeah, I'll have to rebuild that. The next major change over here, as you can see on the map, was a mob farm rebuild. Um, you can go ahead and take a look over here. So it's much nicer now. I still have to put lots of facades up. I redid how I connected these things together instead of like having like the weird like plug or whatever on the roof. I'm just doing, connected columns that way. One other thing I'm doing is this system is kind of ridiculous, and I think it doesn't need to be. Yeah, it's a little bit ridiculous. And also, I finally had to break down and use export buses. I'm very sad. I was able to get away with it up until now because I wanted to do level emitters on export buses because the idea is this is just a regular mob farm. It's a little bit bigger. I can see we have some extra stuff in here. I'll explain how some of this stuff works. So first off, we have all the mob storage stuff here. Um, tank, you know, dimlet packages. I was actually voiding these originally, but it's been running for many, many, many hours since they've rebuilt it, and I only have 3, so I probably didn't lose too much of those things, and so I'm not really that concerned. And besides, you get them from the loot crates, these things as well, so it's not too much of a problem. But it is something else that I'm storing now. So what this does is this system will read if I have over a certain amount of mob drops, like if I have more than 1,000 spider eyes, it will take spider eyes, put them in this chemical dissolver, and then the XNet system will take, because it's here, I can show you, spider eyes will make protein and beta carotene, and then that beta carotene will be using storage buses, will be done, so XNet pulls the stuff from the mob farm, or so XNet pulls, the spider eyes go into here for with the export buses. The protein and beta carotene or whatever the other mob drops would produce go into breakdown items in, and then it uses storage buses to dump those like I'm doing bones, protein to dump. You can actually just caught one, a little bit of it. It takes like those chemicals, those molecules, and stores it and puts them in here using storage buses, and then the elements are stored in one of these things, dumped in one of those things, and then that is dumped into the main system. We can see we have all these elements here, and so this is because the mob drops have a lot of useful elements, mostly relating like. Spider eyes are a very good source of carbon and hydrogen, and the carrot farm over here was just not enough. They only have a 20% chance of giving you 1 beta carotene, so it was pretty slow. So I was kind of like, I didn't really have enough carbon or hydrogen. It was taking forever to do a lot of things. So I feel like this was a very good decision to do, to try and break down extra mob drops. I break down eyes, bones. You can actually see I have now over 7,000 bones. So let's see. I'm also, I think I'm breaking down carrots, string, spider eyes, rotten flesh, and feathers. Something like that. And gunpowder. So all this stuff gets broken down if I have more than a certain amount of it. Like something like feathers, it'll never, I have 8. So it'll never happen, but, maybe it will eventually. We'll see. So yeah, this just breaks down extra mob drops into elements that I might need, and I wanted to do this on site again in the subnet because it's just how I want to do things. I don't want to pass molecules to the main net. It will only ever be passed elements, and those elements, if needed, can be turned back into those molecules that they were originally from, but it's unlikely, I think. So yeah, there we go. We have some nice element input. I'm very happy with that. It took me quite some time, and it's not perfect, but I still really enjoy it, I think. So, I don't really think there hasn't really been too much of anything else. Like again, I've been putting a lot of time into trying to get the DML subnet to work, and it hasn't. So that's very disappointing. I mean, I've probably over here added a few more resources since the last time. I don't exactly remember what was in the drawer wall in the last progression video. But yeah, I had copper now, lapis, blaze powder, and tin ingots. I know I can go mining for lapis, but I wanted to passive lapis just because you need it for the polymer clay. Yeah, so there we go. Let's see. Anything else? I mean, I've also added a few more, resources over here as well. I think I added another element over here. Yeah, I had to add astatine? Yeah. Because I got that, because you need that for the data modules. I guess I can actually, you know what? I can go back and talk about a little bit how I set the DML up, rather than just going, hey, it didn't work. Because it might, I think it will still work even if I connect it up to the main network. Like if it's running off the main network instead of a subnet. But I'll have to do a little bit of tinkering around, obviously. So these are just, DML with XNet. One thing to note is these things are sided chambers. These simulation chambers and the loop fabricators are sided. I didn't realize this, so I had to come up with. It was horrible. It was very bad. But you extract from the bottom and insert from the top. So just keep that in mind. I was like really struggling to get this to work, and then like 2 days later, someone told me, "Oh yeah, by the way, those things are sliders," and it's like, "Oh my god." Oh man, that saved me. I was gonna have to do. I was did like another like weird subnet using import buses, and because I knew import buses worked, and yeah, it was a pain in the ass. But this is just a cobblestone generator to a furnace to make stone on site. This just pulls iron ingots, and it was gonna pull, iron ingots and lapis and all this other stuff. Uh, and then it just gets dumped into here. Uh, we have stone. We make dirt from stone and overworldian matter, which comes from the simulation chambers. Then we make clay with that dirt, and then we turn that clay from the clay blocks into just regular clay, and that gets turned into the polymer clay. This isn't working obviously because there's no gold or lapis being pulled in from the main system. I don't know, and also I probably turned this thing off. Yeah. So if I do that, it'll fill those up. So, yeah, I think this was very cool, a very nice little system, and I think a lot of this will still work. Uh, I'm not sure how much of this I want to show to the mainnet. Um, I mean, it'll probably be fine if it's on mainnet. I mean, stone's okay. If I really need more stone somewhere else, I can always just set up like a dedicated, uh, a dedicated smelter for that if necessary. So I don't really think it'll be too much of a problem. Um, I think you can also just set this to like, uh, I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fun. That might require a little bit of tinkering as well. These are just regular storages and stuff. So, yeah, I am a little annoyed that the subnet system didn't work, but that's just how it goes, I think. Alright, well, that's all I really have today. Again, it was kind of a very busy week in terms of school and stuff, and playing Helldivers too, some more. It's good, it's good. I've put like 110 hours into it or something like that since it dropped. I got it like a week and a half after release. Anyway, that's besides the point. Alright, thanks for watching, I guess. I will hopefully see you next week. Again, it's final season, so we'll have to see uh, if I have time. I have a little bit of time today to do this. All right, that's it for me. Thanks.